It has been a very, very busy few weeks at the Capitol, and joining us this morning to talk about what has happened and what is next is Governor Scott Walker. Thank you for joining us.
Good to be with you.
Well, now that the repair bill has been passed, and once it is in effect, other than government employees and teachers paying more for pensions and health insurance, what can be expected with Medicaid and Badger Care changes, specific changes?
Well, for us, what's in this bill, it really is an evolution into the larger budget repair bill. But it allows greater reforms and flexibility, all of which have to be approved by the Obama administration. So there won't be abrupt changes. There'll be things that, particularly when it comes to Badger Care, as people get closer and closer to being off the eligibility, which was established before, they're going to be asked to pay a little bit more, just like people do in the private sector. But for the basic safety net programs for needy family and children, for seniors out there, they're still going to have their programs and their benefits intact.
Do you honestly think that with all that has happened, that you're going to be able to work in bipartisan matter with the Democrats, and if so, how?
Well, I think you look the first 5-6 weeks we're in office, we passed some of the most aggressive pro-jobs legislation in the entire country. In fact, there were a number of national stories about how quickly we're moving compared to other states. All but one of those bills included votes for Democrats, not only Democrats, but some of those Senate Democrats that left over the past 3 weeks during this previous debate. I'm certain, having talked to some of them, trying to reach out to some of them throughout this debate over the past couple of weeks, that they're interested in coming home. They want to get back to work. And some of those same senators, I'm sure, if we put on things that aren't about being Democrat or Republican, they're about pro-jobs, Wisconsin jobs, those folks are going to come back and help work together.
So you do have hope that we can come together, both sides can come together?
Well, we've had that talk. You know, even with, again, a couple of these senators that I sent some of my administration, even down to South Beloit in Illinois on a week ago Sunday to meet with about the budget repair bill. They're folks that part of the reason why they wanted to meet was they want to get past this. They want to move forward. They want to move on to the next thing. And they know that the jobs are an important issue in the state no matter where you're at, because it's not a Republican job, it's not a Democrat job, it's a Wisconsin job. They helped us out before, and I know we can get working again together.
Well, the state is clearly divided. How do you, as governor of the entire state of Wisconsin, not just the Republicans, fix that?
Well, I think, again, stories like we saw today where they pointed out, one of the daily newspapers mentioned how much money school districts are going to save besides the pension, the health care contribution, how much they'll save just on their health insurance coverage. As people see that, I think we'll be allowed to move forward, because what you've seen in all the polls, even those that have a division over the method, nearly every other poll says that public employees like me should pay a little bit more for health care, a little bit more for pension, although in the case that what we signed into law on Friday, we're still paying much less than the average middle-class taxpayer. When people realize that's the real change, along with that, the other big change for state and local workers is now no longer are they mandated to be in a union, they have the right to choose whether or not they want to be in a union. I think all those things, people realize that all the money that came in from Washington and Illinois and other places really didn't materialize. The problems they projected on the TV ads didn't happen, and that we can just move forward. I think people are going to feel much better about it.
Senate Majority Leader Fitzgerald went on Fox News and said that the end of collective bargaining will definitely make it harder for President Obama to win Wisconsin in 2012, since the union won't have all that money from dues to help the Democratic Party. How, then, is the end of collective bargaining a fiscal issue and not a political issue?
Well, it's entirely a fiscal issue. You look at the fact we saved $30 million alone the remainder of this fiscal year, $300 million for state employees over the next 2 years, $1.44 billion worth of savings for local government employees. Nearly every other state across the country is cutting aid to local government and schools by billions of dollars. We're the only state that's giving an option that isn't laying off workers in mass numbers. It isn't massive property tax increases at the local level. Instead, we're saying all of us should contribute, and in turn, we could avoid those massive property tax increases and avoid those massive layoffs.
Why didn't you bring up collective bargaining when you were campaigning for governor?
I did. In fact, the very unions who were attacking me ran flyers back last fall that said, that actually used clips of my comments about collective bargaining from my campaign website, from several daily newspapers. I've talked about it for 8 years as the county executive of Milwaukee County, pointing out the fact that we tried to avoid massive layoffs by doing pension and health care changes, and the one thing that stood in our way was collective bargaining. We are making reforms, and frankly, we're more generous than the federal government. Federal employees right now under President Obama do not have collective bargaining for wages and for benefits. Other states are much more restrictive than what we're doing. What we're doing allows us to save money, avoid massive layoffs, and still protect property taxpayers.
Okay, Governor Walker, thank you very much.
Good to be with you.